Hello folks, you'll see we're back here on Angel Legion. It's been a while. Last time Angel Legion reached out to me and wanted me to make a sponsored video, it was because they'd released 2 brand new characters to the game, X-Heroes. Well, they're back because we've got 2 new heroes, Warsane and Dreamy Diva. And oh my word, these 2 heroes couldn't be any more different from each other. We've got Dreamy Diva, who's got a tiny little hat on, a little microphone, and has all the ooh animations in the world. Completely contrasting this absolutely epic hero, Warsane, who's got a freaking glaive. I think she looks pretty cool. Both of these heroes are X-Heroes, meaning that they're a little more hard to get compared to other characters in the game, but they have significantly stronger abilities. And if you can get these guys leveled up, they are going to be amazing for you. So we're going to be checking those characters out real soon. But if you haven't already, consider downloading this game, because we have a code for this week. The event right now is the anniversary event for Angel Legion. So go ahead and type in the code to get some rewards here. If you go to the gift exchange, we have the code, which is 6th, I put a G there by mistake, 6th B-Day. Go ahead and try it on your account, and you will get some free rewards. So go ahead and enter the code 6th B-Day, and you'll get some nice stuff. It doesn't work on my account because I'm currently on the beta server, which is why I have access to all these characters. So go ahead and give that a spin, and you'll get some free prizes. But on the topic of free prizes, if you go ahead and check out Angel Legion, they've added a new reward system, which I think is fantastic. Look here, for the first month of playing, you can get some absolutely ridiculous rewards. Day 1, you get a copy of Hellscythe. I already think she's one of the best heroes for making progress in the early game. The fact that you're given a copy of Hellscythe on day 1 is ridiculous. And consider that when you first spend money, if you choose to spend money on this game, you'll get yourself another copy. Straight up. That's 2 copies of Hellscythe. That's a silver level hero immediately on day 1. That's amazing for your account and your progress. And also, if you go to the rebate stuff, you'll also get more as well, which is crazy. On top of that, you get another hero on day 3, Mental Healing. On day 5, you get a copy of Dragon Knight, who I think is one of the best non-combo heroes in the game. She can silence opponents, which is a really powerful crowd control ability, stops them from doing their actives, which is very strong. And then Magic Arrow, another extremely powerful hero who can feed energy to your hero. So stick that with a Dragon Knight, and you can get energy feed into Dragon Knight, constantly silence enemies, and they can't do anything, and you kill them. You're getting free rewards like additional summons, you're getting Shy Girl, a really good single target damage dealer, and then as you just keep on going, you got Punkatar, who can buff your dodge, you got Storm Witch, who has some really ridiculous synergy with Phantom Blade, another hero you can hopefully grab later on. You got Raging Angel here, another energy feed hero. Then you got Ghost Princess, who's another healer. You've got Shining Girl, who can increase your rate of, I think it's your hit rate, so actually it counters enemies who are going to try and dodge you. This is very good for getting past any dodge shenanigans if you're facing Punkatars or enemies that have a good dodge stat, so sometimes Shining Girl is a good support for you. And then you've got Sergeant, she's a bit rubbish, not a big fan of her. And then you've got Executioner. There are better heroes, but I like how the better heroes are weighted at the beginning as well, which is nice. And then boom, Sakura Dancer, one of the best healers in the game, has a Purify effect, really strong in the simulated alpha. So getting a copy of her as well on day 25 is amazing. And then if you scroll to the end, we have this. I think this is something that was absolutely needed, and I'm amazed the devs have added this. You get a rare S-Gene choice chest. This can be any combo hero in the game. So the thing with all the heroes you've just looked at there, these are non-combo heroes and healers. This is a rare S-Gene chest. So you can pick up Phantom Blade, Deadly Shadow, any of the really powerful heroes, Time Guardian, for example, some of the really, really powerful heroes that are much harder to get in the game. And if you log in consecutively for 30 days, you'll even get yourself another one. So if you log in every day for a month without fail and get this time accumulating, you're going to get a random S-Gene box on day 10, 20, and then a choose your own hero box, which is amazing. So getting both of these, super good, as that's basically a silver star version of any hero that you're lucky enough to either already have copies of, so you could push up to gold tier or even further, maybe even S tier, or what you could have is access to your first few copies of someone you wanted. Maybe it's a Phantom Blade, Time Guardian, Deadly Shadow. They're the big three I'd go for, but a lot of choices you can go with in the game, which is really nice. So a really good reason to start playing now, if you haven't already, is this first month sign-in bonus, as just getting copies of all the heroes just sets you up so much better. I know a lot of people are like wanting better ways and easier ways to get hero copies, because like many gacha games, hero copies is a limiting factor to your ability to make progress. And obviously my channel is focused on idle heroes, so idle heroes is a bit different in that regard. It's moved away from that, and now it's much more resource focused and what you have access to. But Angel Legion still lives in that era where hero copies are oftentimes the limiting factor on your ability to make progress. So having rewards like this for free are absolutely fantastic. And yeah, very excited to see if this is going to make a huge difference to players' lives. And I assume it will. You get a lot of really good heroes. And also, getting a lot of these heroes copies is going to be really helpful for anyone trying to build the gods, because gods are massively useful for power creeping your team. And a lot of the earlier gods actually require a lot of those heroes. So you can see there's Justice Knight, needed for Minotaur. That's not a hero you'll be able to get. By the way, do not get Justice Knight from your choice chest just because it unlocks Minotaur. Please don't do that. I know it is potentially a choice. It could be tempting. She is one of the worst combo heroes. Please don't. But Medusa, she requires Magic Arrow, and you're getting given a copy of Magic Arrow for free. So maybe you could use some War Spirit, get another copy, take it to Silver Star, and suddenly you got Medusa unlocked really, really early into the game. I think like within 2 weeks of playing. Ridiculous. Hercules does need a few more heroes, but you can see all of these, apart from Battle Artist, are being given for free during that unlock series. So hopefully you can get a bunch of these to 6-star, and then you've got yourself an A hero. So I'd unlock Medusa, lock her in, then push towards Hercules. Pandora has a few choices as well. All of these actually are available as well. You got Hellscythe there, Shining Girl, Storm Witch, and Raging Angel. All 4 of those available in that unlock system as well for those 30 days of logging in. So it's going to make unlocking gods so much easier for early game players, which is really, really strong. Now, for people also curious about their late game progress, let's go and look at some of these new X tier heroes, because these heroes are so cool. Let's start off with Warsane. I think she's the more traditional hero of the two of them, and I think, first of all, she looks really, really cool, but her looks aside, let's go check out her abilities. So, her basic attack deals 200% physical damage to the enemies in a column, and has a 100% grant Vigor for 2 turns. So Vigor is a buff she's going to give to herself, which reflects 200% of damage taken back to the source, with reflected damage being capped at 400% of the caster's attack. So you basically have a counter attack. This is terrifying. I don't think we have something at this level in Angel Legion already. And I know from gacha games, counterattack damage is absolutely terrifying. From me trying to make progress in many games, being punished for hurting the opponent is an unpleasant mechanic. This being something available to you off a single basic attack is crazy, and this Valor's going to last for 2 turns, so you want it to be high in the attack order, and you want it to take a lot of hits. And that's the damage she takes. Damage taken for... Oh my word, when you see the rest of her kit, this will start to get silly. So you can see her active. That's going to deal 600% of physical damage to the enemies in a column. So again, this is hitting the person in front of her and at the back. So she's able to hit backline enemies, which is really helpful as well. And each time damage is taken, her skill damage increases by 30% of attack, which means she's going to deal even more damage with this ability. And that can stack up to 20 times. Oh boy. So that's going to be an additional 600%. So that's up to 1200% physical damage to enemies. That's a ridiculously large amount of attack. That's crazy. Holy moly. So she's got some insane damage pressure she can deal. But that's only when she takes damage. Which is why I'm going to skip this second ability right now. And I want to show you Steadfast Vow, which is a damage shift ability. While under a damage reduction buff, she will redirect 30% of damage taken by your other allies to herself. Redirected damage is calculated after her own damage reduction. That's 30% of the damage taken by your allies will go onto her, which should then, in theory, trigger Valor, because that reflects the damage taken to opponents. That sounds pretty strong. And then she's got this ability, which says at the start of her own turn, she'll restore HP equal to 20% max HP. So that's scaled healing. Max HP healing is really, really good. Then, if her HP exceeds 50%, she will have 60% damage reduction for 2 turns. That's mad. So, it sounds to me that this is a hero who, at the start of her go, and she wants that to be quick, is going to heal any damage she's taken. She's going to gain a massive damage reduction buff, which then triggers damage shift, which then triggers Valor. That's extremely good, because at the start of her go, she'll then have an opportunity to do a basic attack. So she's just a counter-attacking hero that's going to soak up all the damage for your team. You definitely want to pair her with healers. Absolutely. But she could even be a damage dealer in her own right, where you just have multiple heroes all healing her to keep her alive. That also sounds like it combos amazingly with, I think, was it Moonlight Phantom? Moonlight Phantom that has the ability to give you lifesteal. So that's also extremely interesting, because that's going to restore health of your team. I believe she can give lifesteal to all allies. Yeah, lifesteal restores 50% on... is it all allies gain lifesteal for 2 turns? Yeah. So that means they could also heal themselves. This seems like a better Eloise. Yeah, for anyone that plays Idle Heroes. It sounds like Warsane is indeed a better Eloise. That is very, very cool. And I believe, if you read the way this ability works, all of this should still work if she's under the effect of crowd control. It's just whenever she takes damage, which is super duper strong. Valor, very powerful ability. Now, remember how we said you want to pair her with a healer? Take a look at Dreamy Diva, the other hero that has been added to the game. I'm going to say it right now. I think this is one of the craziest heroes abilities I've ever seen. I'm going to read it to you now. There's some wild stuff that goes on with this character. So, Melody is her basic attack. It deals 135% magic damage to a front row enemy, heals the ally with the lowest HP for 30% of their max HP. So that's just a little targeted healing at the lowest HP person on your team. That's nice, and maybe that'll go ahead and be your war hero, right? What was she called? Warsane. Maybe that's her. Maybe she's getting so much damage that she's now lowest HP. Probably unlikely, as you're probably going to invest a lot of power into her, so she's probably going to have quite a good HP stat anyway. But then we've got heal and increase. So heals all allies' HP. So everyone gets healed on the active. That's good for 300% of attack. Then has an 80% chance to increase all allies' critical resistance. This is extremely good, because critical resistance is something a lot of the time is worth investing in, especially for PvP. Because enemies like, for example, let's just use Deadly Shadow. She is scary, bro, because a Deadly Shadow, if she's able to crit, will stun your team. If you have crit resistance, then that massively reduces the chance that Deadly Shadow is going to stun you, so potentially going to help you against her. So I can already see some great synergy for player versus player content. On top of that, we've also got a 60% chance to increase all allies' resistance by 25%. And okay, let's be real. Getting yourself protection from resistance is really good, because this can stack with the resistance abilities, and this is functionally a control immunity effect. It resists any negative effect that you're going to take. 25% resistance basically is giving you a 1 in 4 chance to not receive a negative ability. So giving that to your team is phenomenal. So again, exciting. That's going to protect you from crowd control. Really, really good. So all in all, it looks like her active is specifically designed to keep you safe from bad effects. Really good. That's probably going to increase the ceiling on how far you can push in a lot of the game modes as well, because it's going to increase the probability that you can high roll, especially against game modes where you can try over and over and over again. That 25% resistance is going to come in clutch. Also, she's got Purify. When active, that means when she's alive, each time an allied unit recovers HP, there's a 50% chance to remove 1 negative status effect from the ally. So pair this with multiple healers. You now have multiple triggering Purify effects. This is fantastic. Removing negative effects from your team. Very, very strong. That's going to include crowd control. That'll be burn, stat reductions, anything like that. she's saving you and protecting you and removing that stuff, which is really good. And then you've got this final passive, Glittering Stage. After this unit's action ends, that's after she's done her turn, there is a 50% chance to make the ally with the highest attack immediately do an active skill. So the one weakness with running healers on your team is healers don't do very much damage, right? Like, look at this, 135% magic damage to a front enemy. That's poop. That's big stinky. That's terrible. But she's overcoming that downside by saying, there's a 50% chance your best hero is going to do an active skill right now. Just because. So that sounds absolutely bonkers for anyone who has a crowd control effect. So let's say it just immediately is going to trigger someone like Time Guardian, who could then just do a stun effect on the whole enemy team. Oh, womp womp, the enemy team just got CC'd. Hilarious. Or it could trigger your own Deadly Shadow for exactly the same thing. Or maybe you want to get even crazier. Maybe you're facing Simulated Alpha, and you want a Filial Spirit Mulan to just do another active skill, which is going to stack and stack and stack tons of potential multiple hits into the boss, which could theoretically double the damage output of a Mulan, because she's going to get to do not one active every round, but 2 actives every single round. And the craziest part about this is, if doing a free active wasn't crazy enough, it doesn't consume energy. So here's a free active skill, by the way, it didn't use your energy. That's a ridiculously strong ability. We've seen that in other gacha games where getting a free active skill out of your turn order is already broken. The fact that we have it on a hero, I think, is more balanced. It does come with the downside of we have a hero that doesn't really offer any damage on the team, but that makes up for that weakness. So I think when it comes to a game design standpoint, this overcomes the one weakness of healers. As I said earlier, they don't offer much damage. Getting a potential to get a free additional ability from your best damaging hero is bonkers. So a really, really cool hero who's offering a lot of support and buffing your already phenomenal damage dealers. Is it going to be worth picking her up as your first X-tier hero? Probably not. I'd probably lean towards someone who's much more damage focused. I think Warsane, to be honest, is ridiculous. I think she's just a solo carry hero. I think you can just run her with healers and she'll steamroll a lot of enemy teams. Pair that with crowd control, and you can CC a lot of opponents that could be problematic. However, that also is going to be one big weakness of Warsane. If you're already running a strategy that revolves so much around crowd control, Warsane's probably going to be a little bit weaker in those settings because enemies aren't going to damage you as much. We've seen with a lot of counter-attack style strategies that actually stunned opponents don't move. Enemies that don't move, therefore, aren't going to hit Warsane, and it's not going to trigger her passives, and therefore she's not going to have as much damage pressure as she could, and she's not going to gain all the stacks that she could, which would progressively improve her damage output, right? So I think that's a little bit of a downside, to be honest. So maybe she's not going to be as strong as we think. But in other game modes, or maybe if there's a way that we shift away from crowd control, this could also be extremely powerful. I think you just have to wait and see with that one. But I think both heroes have a lot of potential. Although I think of the two, I actually think I like Dreamy Diva more. Just because she's not only giving you all the important stuff like resistance and increasing all allies' resistance, giving your main hero a second active, I think, is probably the most ridiculous thing that's ever been offered to a hero in this game. And probably will make her the best support hero I've probably ever seen released to this game. And that's saying something. We've got heroes like Arcane Scholar who, you know, heal and also feed energy and also can purify. So maybe we're in a situation where you can just run a really, really powerful team of supports and then one big fat damage dealer to do most of the cleanup. That could work nicely. Maybe hybrid damage dealer crowd control heroes like Deadly Shadow could really benefit from a Dreamy Diva as well. Potentially. Maybe if you don't have many copies of an X tier, just getting a Dreamy Diva on your team, just maybe she is the first to go with, right? Because if you can just get this skill unlocked, you're maybe not going to need a lot of copies of Dreamy Diva to get her to a decent level, where that skill alone is going to just double the potential of your best hero. You don't need a lot of copies of Dreamy Diva to make that happen. So perhaps picking Dreamy Diva up early is a phenomenal idea, and fun to experiment with that. Let me know in the comment section which of these you would go with first. I'm torn. So like I initially said, maybe you don't go with her first. Maybe now you do. I don't know. I think both have potential. And then you've also got the other choice of the last two S Plus heroes that came out recently, the X tiers, right? Moonlight Phantom, phenomenal, and Dusk Enchantress, also absolutely phenomenal heroes. So love that there's so much variance now as well. Also, the devs are going to be adding a system to the game very soon, which makes it easier to select which one of these heroes you're after and make it easier to pick them up. So now is a great time to start so that you do not miss that opportunity for that update, which is going to get you guys access to these heroes a little easier. And there's going to be some new shop items added. There's even going to be a graphics overhaul coming soon. I'll hopefully be able to cover those in a future video if my friends at Angel Legion want to go ahead and reach out for that. And of course, I'll give you guys all the updates when that comes. So one thing I think would be really cool to show you that sadly I cannot with this account would be to show you Diva in combination with Mulan, also known as Filial Spirit, in the simulated alpha. But because this account has a max level Dreamy Diva, the attack on Dreamy Diva, because she's one of these higher level heroes in S+, is so high that physically, Mulan will not be the highest attack hero on our team. So if you're planning on doing a really crazy strategy where you use Filial Spirit and get her to trigger multiple times against the simulated alpha, ensure that you don't make Dreamy Diva the highest attack hero on your team. And actually, if you are going to be running other heroes, like for example, a Moonlight Phantom, to maximize your simulated alpha performance by giving you both lifesteal and also the ability to get rid of the defensive buffs on the boss, also watch out that you don't level these up too high that their attack exceeds that of your Mulan, which is something to think about because these synergies with Diva are really powerful, but because it's specifically your highest attack hero that gets to go again, you can potentially, if you're not careful, end up with that being not the hero you want to trigger multiple effects. So just watch out for that, as that can be something. So yeah, either way, these heroes look absolutely awesome. I hope you guys get a chance to try them on your accounts. And yeah, let me know in the comment section if you do manage to get any of these really powerful heroes on your account. And which one is your favorite from what we've seen? Is it Warsane? Is it Dreamy Diva? Or are you still huge fans of Moonlight Phantom and Dusk Enchantress? Either way, what we do know is probably going to happen is we are going to be getting more of these really powerful S+ heroes in the future, and they're probably going to have just as crazy abilities as the ones we've seen today. So folks, I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully more Angel Legion content coming soon, as our friends at Angel Legion are, of course, excited to work with me again, I hope. And if you do want to check this game out, go ahead and download it. It's called Angel Legion. It's available on all App Store providers and Steam as well, which is pretty cool if you play on PC. So go ahead and check out this game and get some cool stuff on your account using that code 6thBday. And if there's any other codes that I know of at the moment, I'll put them in the description of this video as well. Either way, guys, until next time, have an amazing week. And of course, happy idling.